Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So here's a warning for all altcoin holders. Is coming from Dan Gambardello here. The Russell 2000 just made the move. So I'm sure you guys have been paying attention to the charts here. And, if I bring up the Russell 2000, and it's already on the daily here. You guys can see all-time high. Now, this was from yesterday. Right now, the markets are not open as of the time of this recording. But you guys can see, look at that. Yesterday, we were butting up against former all-time high for the Russell. And so, this is a good indication of the altcoin market really starting to rip. If you've been paying attention to analysis from guys like the blockchain backer, he and others have gone on the record saying it takes, the Russell 2000 and other stock market indices to break their former all-time highs and really start moving to the upside before we can see, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies start ripping. So here we are today, and practically with pinpoint perfection, you guys can see Russell 2000, the former high was back on October the 15th. We did dip down, and now right over here, retesting that level of resistance there. I'm just going to throw this on the hourly to show you guys that we did get rejected yesterday. So we are, I guess we're going to keep our eye on this for today. Where the Russell's going to go? Are we going to make higher highs? And will this bring the crypto market up with it? Now, fear and greed at 25. We got the market cap at $3.1 trillion. That's still down about 1.85%. So we're not feeling it as of yet. Bitcoin in the last 24 hours is actually down by 1.68%. Same with Ethereum, down 1.66. We got XRP down 3.79. So cryptos have been seeing a tumble, so not exactly doing what the Russell's doing. Don't forget, though, crypto markets are open 24/7, and traditional financial markets do close at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we really have to see what happens when these markets open again. Hopefully, we do see an influx of liquidity, of capital entering the market, and hopefully that brings renewed confidence in the market. This is the Bitcoin chart on the daily. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin retracing over the last couple of days now. Volume's low, so that's okay. And it does not compare to the two bullish candlesticks that we had the 2 days prior. So a lot of high buying volume there. That is creating what is looking like higher lows. And hopefully we make some higher highs on the Bitcoin chart. Of course, this is also correlating with what's happening on the XRP chart, although the XRP moves are more volatile here. Currently, one XRP going for $2.06 per coin. So we need to see Bitcoin move up before we see the rest of the crypto market move up, including XRP. No, guys, XRP has not decoupled from Bitcoin, despite what you've been hearing. The good news is the XRP launch couldn't have happened at a better time. This coming from Chad Steingraber here. He says perfection. Check this out here. The setup, guys. We had the greed zone in here. This metric actually measures the sentiment in the crypto space. So XRP sentiment turned sour, creating another opportunity to buy against the crowd narrative. So the crowd narrative in the fear zone here, most bearish commentary since October, guys. This is what we're seeing currently for XRP. And when the commentary was this bearish before, it was back in October. We did have that fear zone too, leading up into the end of November. But we haven't seen greed in a while. So the price of XRP obviously has to shoot back up in order for us to see that. But, maybe an opportunity for those ETF investors to purchase some XRP set up to make Wall Street history. So Chad commenting on this, it is very interesting that these ETFs were launched at a time when the market was purposely depressed. And it feels like this happens time and time again, where we're expecting the price to pump. But, the inverse actually does happen. Well, we have to give Wall Street an opportunity to buy in, right? Or at least that's what Wall Street thinks is a good idea. Wisdom Tree did just come out with a report last week, guys, and it reveals that XRP is the only cryptocurrency with sustained institutional inflows across all regions. This courtesy of Smoke here. So check this out. The report did just come out on November the 30th. So just only 5 days ago. Wisdom Tree Crypto Monthly. And here is the report here. We have XRP inflows looking very positive and very steady. It said in the report, it confirms XRP is the only major cryptocurrency that institutions continued to buy across every region. So Europe, the United States, and the rest of the world. And it says here, even during a month when most other assets saw heavy selling in Europe, XRP brought in $549 million of new money this year. That is more than Ethereum, which was only at $185 million, more than Solana. now losing money quickly after an earlier $814 million total, and more than every other single coin or basket product except for Bitcoin. Outside the United States, investors added $252 million to XRP products this year, almost exactly the same amount they added to Bitcoin products. So you can see XRP now neck and neck with Bitcoin. The popularity of XRP is growing, with more exposure, I think, to the markets. While Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs in the United States lost a combined $6.4 billion in November alone, money continued to actually flow into XRP products everywhere. So very interesting observation here. I wanted to thank Smoke just for bringing that up. He does give us some more details in this post, which I will link in the description of the video for you. So the market looks like it's being set up for another bullish rally. Simon McLaughlin, CEO of Uphold here, pointing this out. Quantitative tightening is officially behind us, and with it, one of the most restrictive liquidity environments in history. The economy runs on liquidity the way an engine runs on oil. The U.S. Federal Reserve pumped $13.5 billion in the banking system through overnight repo transactions, basically giving banks cash in exchange for assets to keep money flowing smoothly. Coming next is an opportunity for a reacceleration of innovation, infrastructure development, and transformational technologies like blockchain. So he's hoping that this is going to be a chain reaction and hopefully expedite the market to see more transformational changes for the financial infrastructure. We also have the possible new Fed Chair Kevin Hassett here making an appearance on Fox News. Eric Doherty here pointing this out in a massive development. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is predicting a 4% plus GDP growth at the start of 2026. And here's what Kevin Hassett has to say about that.
That we've seen and we've studied over the last couple of weeks is that when there's a government shutdown, then the things that we economists call the soft data, the survey data, tend to really tank because everyone's in a terrible mood because Washington can't work and the government shut down and they're worried about how bad it's going to be. But the hard data are what do people actually do with their lives, with their pocketbooks. And so, for example, we just saw the best Black Friday ever. People went out getting ready for the Christmas holiday shopping season, feeling very optimistic about the economy. As we go into next year, don't forget that all the people who have no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, who are going to be able to deduct the interest on their car loan if they buy a car, all those things are kicking in big time as we go into next year. That's why Secretary Bessent and I are both very confident that we're going to be looking at growth in the forward numbers for the first half of next year.
So the other thing he mentions here is that we just saw the best Black Friday ever. He doesn't give a timeline on that, but I guess in recent history. So all good news for the numbers, all good news for the economy overall. Of course, if we do see the Russell go above its all-time high, that will mean that we will see cryptocurrencies, or at least theoretically, that means that we will see other risk-on assets rally like cryptos. So hopefully this is going to give us the catalyst we need, the renewed confidence for Bitcoin to go up, and thus for altcoins like XRP to follow. So I guess we haven't talked about Bitcoin price. Currently, we're trading at $91,443 as of the time of this recording. Still a lot of ways to go. And hopefully we do see a big surge for Bitcoin in the coming weeks. I mean, we're already at the end of 2025. Boy, how that went very fast. Well, we also have an update on the Clarity Act, guys. Digital Perspectives retweeting out Eleanor Turret's Crypto in America blog here. According to a handful of attendees who spoke with Crypto in America, it was a merry and bright crowd that also included Hill staffers and members of the media. And Scott, I don't know if this is, she means Scott Bessent here, even floated dates for when the banking committee could hold a markup of its market structure text. There's a realistic path, this is a quote, there is a realistic path to having a markup on December the 17th or 18th in the committee with the votes to get it done. They have already 13 Republican votes, and there are already 3 Democrats on side who said that they would vote yes. So that is currently, and sorry, it's not Scott Bessent, it's Tim Scott here, Senator Tim Scott. So that is currently the news with regards to regulatory clarity in the United States. Another big milestone here for regulatory clarity. Check this out here, guys. Y'all heard it here first. Another one here from Eleanor Turret. Bitnomial to launch its first CFTC-regulated spot crypto trading desk. The exchange's self-certified rules went into effect on Friday, paving the way for spot trading in the coming days. So here is the latest when it comes to crypto trading in America. Derivatives exchange Bitnomial is preparing to launch spot crypto trading. Market structure talks come down to the wire, and what we're watching this week from Eleanor Turret again, like I said. So she says here, you heard it here first. However, Cowboy Crypto, quick to point out that Bitnomial, they did announce this back in October of 2024. So they did announce the U.S. perpetual futures trading platform. However, now it is official. So yeah, the CFTC just approved Bitnomial as America's first federally regulated exchange for leveraged crypto spot trading, which launches next week.
Matt, crypto goes mainstream. The Commodities Futures Trading Commission announcing the launch of the first government-supervised crypto trading platform. It allows Americans to instantly buy, sell, and finance digital assets. Fox Business's Darren Botello, live in Washington with all the details. Darren, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Maria. Of course, right now, as we all know, you can buy and sell crypto online already, but this is the first time, like you said, a spot trading platform is getting the full backing of the federal government. So why does this even matter to investors that the CFTC is backing this new Bitnomial platform? These other platforms are legally operating, but here's the catch, Maria. They're often called the Wild West. Basically, it's buyer beware. We've seen this with the collapse of FTX and customers eventually losing out on huge profits they would have had. Their money stayed safe in the market, they would have had it. Now with this Bitnomial platform, there are stricter standards for transparency, security, and consumer protection to prevent an FTX-style collapse. We spoke exclusively with acting CFTC Chairman Caroline Pham ahead of this new platform going live.
Not only do we want Americans to come back home and to be trading here where they know that they have the protections that they deserve, but again, that means that American companies that are involved in the crypto industry, they're going to want to build here, they're going to want to invest here, they're going to want to hire here. So this is overall a net benefit to the economy.
And Bitnomial tells us ahead of their announcement, the actual launch of the platform is set for next week. Maria?
So set for next week, guys. As you heard Carolyn D. Pham point out there, apparently a lot of Americans, I guess, were trading abroad, so not using an American cryptocurrency exchange. They want to bring that money back to the U.S. It makes sense. The other thing Pham does mention is that cryptocurrency and blockchain, I guess, DLT companies do want to do business. They want to continue to develop in the United States. So, you know, with all the rules not being so favorable to crypto adoption during the Gensler years. These guys have a huge cleanup operation that is still underway. But guys, Bitnomial now giving institutional investors, now let me reiterate, other cryptocurrency exchanges were already legal in the United States, but guys, this is what's going to get institutional money in. The institutionals don't want to mess around with millions and millions and sometimes billions of dollars. They want to have something secure that they can trade, that they can rely on. XRP gets first ever CFTC regulated spot listing in the United States. So Bitnomial has officially launched the first CFTC regulated spot crypto exchange, and XRP is listed on day one. This means XRP can now be traded spot, futures, perps, options under a federal U.S. regulator, something no other U.S. exchange has offered until now. XRP is now approved as trading collateral. You can literally post XRP and RLUSD as margin, the same way institutions use treasuries or stablecoins. That is a huge legitimacy upgrade. XRP just moved from crypto token to US regulated market infrastructure. This is the biggest regulator unlock XRP has seen in years. And so she says, congrats to Bitnomial. Guys, this is going to open up institutional trading. Again, I have to reiterate this point because this is a big deal. Institutions coming into the market, as we're seeing, the price is very attractive for them at this point in time to purchase up Bitcoin, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies. We are seeing this double bottom on the Bitcoin chart. We are starting to make higher highs and higher lows on the Bitcoin chart. Hopefully, we do see these tailwinds continuing with momentum moving forward. And if you guys are interested in how I'm treating the remaining portion of this bull run, guys, we've been in a bull run since early 2023. I'm getting really excited for my next moves where I'm going to be buying the dip and selling out of my positions, exact price targets. Yeah, I'm going to be telling you guys exactly where I'm going to be selling my crypto positions. Check it out, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Only $5 a month, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock into that price. I also have the Working Money Channel merch store for those of you guys interested in purchasing some Working Money Channel merch. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.